Shadow the Black Labrador was no ordinary dog. From the moment he opened his eyes each morning, there was a spark of mischief and intelligence that set him apart from other dogs. His sleek black coat shimmered in the sunlight, and his eyes, oh those eyes, they were always full of curiosity and a hint of playful cunning. Oh no, he was a master of trickery, a canine connoisseur of cleverness. Shadow had an uncanny ability to read the room, to sense the mood of his human, and to know exactly when to strike with his charming antics. He wasn't just any dog, he was a furry magician with a nose for treats. A furry magician with a nose for treats. Shadow's sense of smell was legendary. He could detect the faintest whiff of a treat from rooms away, and his excitement was palpable whenever he knew a delicious reward was within reach. His tail would wag furiously, and his eyes would light up with anticipation. He had a special twinkle in his eye, a glimmer that hinted at the gears turning in his clever mind. It was a look that his human had come to recognize well, a sign that a clever plan was brewing. Shadow was always thinking, always plotting his next move to earn that coveted treat. A sign that a clever plan was brewing. Shadow would sit quietly, his head slightly tilted as if deep in thought. His human often wondered what went on in that intelligent mind of his. Was he planning a new trick? Or perhaps devising a way to sneak an extra treat when no one was looking? A plan that involved his favorite thing in the world, yummy, delicious treats. Treats were Shadow's ultimate motivation. He would do anything for them, and his human knew it. Whether it was a simple biscuit or a gourmet doggy snack, Shadow's love for treats was unparalleled. Shadow knew the exact way to make his human give him a treat. It wasn't just about performing a trick, it was about the timing, the execution, and the charm. Shadow had perfected his routine to an art form, knowing precisely when to tilt his head, when to wag his tail, and when to give that irresistible puppy dog look. It wasn't just sitting or shaking a paw. Those were the basics, the foundation of his repertoire. Shadow had a whole arsenal of tricks up his sleeve, each one more impressive than the last. He could roll over, play dead, and even fetch specific items on command. This was a special trick, one that always made his human laugh. Shadow had a signature move, a trick that never failed to bring a smile to his human's face. He would balance a treat on his nose, wait for the command, and then flip it into the air and catch it with precision. It was a crowd pleaser, and Shadow knew it. And when his human laughed, Shadow knew a treat was sure to follow. The bond between Shadow and his human was special, built on trust, love, and a shared sense of joy. Every laugh, every treat, every moment spent together was a testament to their unbreakable bond. Shadow's tricks were more than just a way to earn treats. They were a way to connect, to share happiness, and to create lasting memories. Excitement bubbled inside Shadow. His tail wagged faster than a flag in a hurricane. He loved doing this trick. It made him feel clever, like he had outsmarted everyone. He got ready, his body wiggling with anticipation. First he got into position. He sat down, his back straight, his ears perked up. He looked at his human with his big brown eyes, willing him to pay attention. This was his secret weapon, his irresistible charm. The air crackled with anticipation. This was it, showtime. Shadow took a deep breath, filling his nose with the scent of his human and, more importantly, the faint, tempting aroma of treats. He was ready. His human, catching on to Shadow's game, grinned. "All right, Shadow," he chuckled, "show me what you've got." The words were like a starting pistol to Shadow. The game was on. Section 4. A Clever Canine's Performance. Shadow sprang into action. He didn't just sit there like an ordinary dog. No, Shadow was always full of energy and enthusiasm, ready to entertain and amaze anyone who watched him. His eyes sparkled with mischief, and his movements were always precise and deliberate, as if he had rehearsed his performance 100 times. Shadow was not just a pet. He was a performer, an entertainer, and he knew how to captivate his audience. No, Shadow was extraordinary. He lifted his paw and pretended to sneeze, making a funny snuffling sound. It was a trick he had perfected, and it never failed to get a laugh. His playful grin showed that he was enjoying every moment of the attention. Shadow's antics were always a delight to watch, and his human couldn't help but laugh at his cleverness. It was all part of his plan, his clever ruse. His human gasped dramatically, playing along with Shadow's performance. The surprise on their face was genuine, but it was also part of the act. Shadow loved the reaction he got, and it spurred him on to perform even more tricks. He was a master of his craft, and he knew exactly how to keep his audience engaged and entertained. "Oh no, Shadow, are you feeling unwell?" Shadow, still maintaining the act, hung his head low, trying his best to look sad and sickly. His performance was so convincing that anyone watching would have believed he was truly unwell. But those who knew Shadow well knew that this was just another one of his clever tricks. He was a master of deception, and he loved to play on the emotions of his audience. but a telltale wag of his tail betrayed his true feelings, pure, unadulterated mischief. Shadow couldn't keep up the act for long, and his true playful nature always shone through. His human laughed and gave him a pat on the head, knowing that Shadow had once again succeeded in entertaining everyone. Shadow's performances were always a highlight, and his clever tricks never failed to bring joy and laughter to those around him. Section 5, The Sweet Reward. The jig was up. Shadow's human burst into laughter, his cheerful voice filling the room. "You got me again, Shadow," he said, shaking his head in amusement. Shadow, his mission accomplished, wagged his tail furiously, letting out happy barks. Finally, the moment he'd been waiting for arrived. His human reached into his pocket and pulled out a treat. Shadow's tail went into overdrive. He had succeeded. He gobbled up the treat in one joyous gulp. Section 6, A Bond Built on Love and Laughter. Shadow and his human shared a special moment. It was one of those perfect days where everything seemed to align. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and Shadow's tail wagged with uncontainable joy. His human, equally delighted, couldn't help but laugh at Shadow's playful antics. They had a connection that went beyond words, a silent understanding that spoke volumes. It wasn't just about the treat, though that was definitely a bonus. The treat was a symbol of their mutual affection, a small token of appreciation for the joy they brought into each other's lives. Shadow's eyes sparkled with excitement as he received his favorite snack, but it was the shared moment that truly mattered. The treat was just the icing on the cake, a delicious reminder of the love that bound them together. It was about the bond they shared, a bond built on love, laughter, and the pure joy of being together. Every game of fetch, every belly rub, every shared glance was a testament to their unbreakable connection. They were partners in crime, best friends and confidants. The world seemed a little brighter, a little kinder, whenever they were together. Their bond was a sanctuary, a place where they could both be their true selves without fear or judgment. Shadow, full of love and contentment, snuggled up to his human. In those quiet moments when the world outside seemed to fade away, they found peace in each other's company. Shadow's gentle breathing, the warmth of his fur, and the steady rhythm of his heartbeat were all comforting reminders of their deep bond. It was in these moments of stillness that their love shone the brightest, a love that needed no words to be understood. He might be a master of trickery, a furry magician in disguise, always ready to perform a new trick or surprise his human with his cleverness. Each trick was a display of his intelligence and their shared trust. Shadow's eyes would light up with pride as he executed each move flawlessly, knowing that his human was watching with admiration and love. These moments of play and performance were just another way they celebrated their unique bond. But most importantly, he was a loyal friend, and he knew he was loved. Shadow's loyalty was unwavering, a constant source of comfort and strength for his human. No matter what challenges they faced, they knew they could always rely on each other. Their love was a beacon, guiding them through the ups and downs of life. Shadow's presence was a reminder that true friendship is built on trust, loyalty, and unconditional love. And that, more than any treat, was the best feeling in the world. The joy of knowing they had each other, the comfort of their shared moments, and the love that filled their hearts were the true treasures of their bond. In a world that could often be chaotic and uncertain, their relationship was a constant, a source of unwavering happiness and peace. And as they looked into each other's eyes, they knew that this bond, built on love and laughter, was the greatest gift of all.